Rafi, I guess in terms of, what advice you'd have for someone kind of getting started, you know, if, I mean, if they're in the US, then I don't know, not really a whole lot of excuses given how far away you guys are, but, yeah, just, what advice you have for people kind of getting started and just, yeah.
As an active or as passive? I think it's
Either way. Yeah.
either way. I think okay, it's a different way, but maybe the start. I think two things are very important. One is networking, being in the area. As a passive, you want to be with other passive who are looking at deals. With active, you want to be with other active that looking for deals. With a few levels of experience, you want to have somebody with a lot of experience. You want to have somebody that can guide you on the way, because knowledge is very important, and experience. Knowledge you can get very fast maybe, but experience is something that takes time. So find somebody who's very experienced. Find somebody who is very network with people who are 2 steps ahead of you, because this way, you learn from the small mistakes that the one who has done it for a long time, you already forgot. And always have somebody to help too. If you have another investor who is 2 steps behind you, when you teach him, you are passing over the help that you got, and it's a nice environment. And also this way, you put logic in your head how to do it. You organize the way you do it. So I always say, being network with people that have, like I said, somebody who's done it, somebody who's 2 steps ahead of you, and somebody who's 2 steps behind you. Learn and be active. The only way to do it is jump, understanding. I think you said that too. Understanding that you will make mistakes. It's better do than sitting and trying to figure everything out from the computer, not doing anything. So, yeah.
So same question for you, Marcel. What advice do you have for people getting started?
Yeah, definitely. As an active, I suggest if you are interested in multifamily apartments in the US, I can recommend the Brad Sumrock group, but there are many other good groups, but just have a good experience with Brad Sumrock or Lifestyles Unlimited, but I have no experience with them. I just heard it's also good. Or there's other groups, maybe you have yet some recommendation on that, just to join those networking groups and then, like Rafi said, leverage the know-how of other people's and join the club and join the team. You have to invest a little bit in this education. And from a passive standpoint, I would suggest that you have at least in the beginning, like $30,000 ready to invest in a deal. You need the money. It's not a real estate REITs where you can buy for $2,000 and you have this diversified funds, which in my opinion is nothing comparable to syndication, where you're really the property, where you can actually you need at least like 30,000, 50,000, and then when you have that money, you surely take course, like online course for German speaking people. I even have my own online video coaching course where people can get teach. And the other part is, of course, also talk to your tax advisor, especially when you're in Germany. For example, the structure is very important. You need to have an LLC with C corporation, for example, unless you get like when you have to make tax contributions, might be not so clever and you have the wrong structure. So talk to a professional tax advisor. And then like get connected with people like Hayden and Dustin and sponsors and listen to podcasts with multifamily apartment investors and also coaches. That's my tip.
Awesome. Yeah, I do think it's really interesting that you guys are both halfway across the world, but you got your education from programs here in Dallas, which is cool. So I know, Rafi, you're Think Multifamily, and then Marcel, you're with Brad Sumrock. So real quick, if you guys don't mind, just, how much of a role did that play and how important was that education process in your success? So Rafi, if you don't mind sharing, I know most of our audience is very familiar with both groups, so it might help give people some insight.
So first, there is no, you can't say, how do you say, you don't argue with the results, right? I syndicated 6 deals, 766 units. I played role as a money raiser. I raised funds on deals, and I also sourced the deals, so some of the deals. So you can argue with results. I don't know somewhere group, but it's not a competition. I think every group has its own values. I like thinking multifamily. For me, it was like a family. I think the way it's structured is that everyone can participate in a deal where it brings value. That's why it's called family syndication. So I really liked it. I felt like a family, even from far away from Israel. So for me, I don't think I would have done it without the environment. I think it's very important to be in an environment, like I said before, like this, that people like you want to achieve the same results and have some people who already achieved a few steps ahead of you. So I think it's wise. Don't try to do it by yourself. I think it's a long way. It's a longer way. This is a kind of a shortcut.
Yeah, it's definitely a team sport, that's for sure. So what about you, Marcel? How important is that education piece, and what's your experience been with the Sumrock Group?
Yeah, of course, really a lot. I think I would be not in this situation where I am today without this program, because I had some troubles before I joined that group, and then it helped me a lot to network, and I met like great syndicators. Like, I still have like contact just right now, and I'm always in contact with those sponsors like Jay Lay, Carl and Jeff Edwards, Alain Villegas, and Shane Thomas, and these are all people I met at the Brad Sumrock events, and they just gave me some numbers that those deals I'm in with them, they are ranging like at the moment with somewhere 6% to 8% at the moment, and of course to double those incomes in a couple of years is actually the business plan, and you have an ecosystem where you have a team of not only sponsors, you have other passives, you have a lot of like you meet CPAs, you meet other service providers, and it just saves you time and money, and you can leverage the experience. And of course, you also you can find also other passives where you can also raise money together if you're an active or a sponsor. So those networking are really good, and I have to really thank the Brad Sumrock that he's organizing all those events, because this is something I would not want to like to do, because it's a lot of stress, I think, also to manage those large groups. I mean, it's different now in the COVID situation, but so I'm thankful that it exists, because it doesn't really exist here in Switzerland. There is also a little bit a group in Germany. It's called Immopreneur, which is actually, I think, soon coming, but also online. It's the German version, but it's more mixed. So it's like you have different. It's not really syndication or multifamily. So this makes US really attractive. You are really a large real estate country. I think it's one of the largest in the world, if not the largest. I think it's the largest in the world, which is fantastic.
Very cool. Well, I think we're going to open it up to if anybody's got some questions. RT, I see you're having trouble finding the download. If you scroll down to offers, just below the screen, you should be able to click resources and contact info, and that'll take you to the webinar handout that has all the information and ways to contact Rafi and Marcel. But if anybody's got questions, feel free to drop them in. And in the meantime, do you guys have any maybe final advice for all the viewers? Rafi, do you have anything, or maybe ways you want to direct people?
Yeah. Well, I think the only way to do it is to start. Do one step at a time. Keep moving 1% a day, and you will achieve it. That's what I think. Believe in yourself. I think for me, I want to be my best version of myself. So this is where I'm focused, and getting better every day. So, sometimes you don't succeed, like you said. I think we said that. You have, you don't succeed, you make mistakes, you get improved. And so the only way to do it, I think, is aim and, keep forwarding no matter what. Like you said, there you said sound where work hard, make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's my daily reminder. What about you, Marcel? Is there any final words or any advice you want to give to our audience?
I would suggest the listeners to go also on your website and check everything what you're doing. On the other hand, I can also give a small tip. You go on YouTube and you look for a video call from Robert Kiyosaki and Kim Kiyosaki about, they're talking with Ken McElroy about infinite return in real estate. They're going to show an example of a multifamily deal. And if you look at it, they're going to show you some numbers, and it's going to be really interesting to see. And as you, Rafi, mentioned also the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, I think that's something when you read that book and then sometimes you don't know what to do. The next step would be to look at that video and then start jumping in those events and call a sponsor and go through the numbers and invest.
Awesome.